I'd like to call this meeting of the Lammersville Unified Board of Education to order at 7 o'clock. Just a reminder, this meeting is recorded and live streamed, so I would ask that you please silence or turn off your cell phones at this time. And if Principal Manley and Wickland School could come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening. I have three students that will be leading us in the pledge. If Nevelyn, Akshara, and Sahasra can come on up.
Please stand.
Place your right hand over your heart.
Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I understand Wickland School has a treat for us this evening.
Yes, good evening, Board President Pombo, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Nicholas. I am excited and privileged tonight to spotlight our Wickland Choir. Our Wickland Choir has about 20 students, whom I'm going to introduce right now. But first I want to point out, you see a few names in the bold there. These students have recently made the County Honor Choir Band, and so Miss Imoni will introduce those students first.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here tonight. We have 5 students who made it into the County Honor Choir, and they are working very hard, and we had our first rehearsal last night. We have Ashley Hernandez. We have Akshara Patnaik, Mackenzie Sharp, Ananya Sundar, and M. Wicken. And for the students who are working very hard in our choir, we have Leah Gemlish, Kritika Gupta, Perla Hakim, Chloe Lorenzo, Nevelyn Rivera, Sia Sabarwal, Hasita Venkat Raman, Zanila Aton, Sahasra Sarabu, Mishti Parmar, Joseph Manjali is absent this evening, Adelie Odom, Ellery Odom, and Tasha Abraham.
You go back. I think we missed Shraddha Shatar. And Isabel. Okay, so our choir has been working very hard. Miss Imoni took our choir from 12 students last year to what you see tonight, which is about over 20 students. And she did that through just their success, but also she did karaoke Thursdays, which I'm not invited to. But they have karaoke Thursdays where they bring a friend and they're able to just sing and have fun and enjoy the arts, and that's led a lot of students to see just what a great team the choir is and joined the choir. Last year at the Forum Music Festival, our choir took gold, which means they're top 10% in the nation. They scored 94 out of 100, and they look to surpass that this year as they've already reached a higher technical difficulty, which Miss Imoni can explain because I don't understand it. But they're doing a great job. These are students who give up part of their recess time because they're just so dedicated to the arts and they want to do this, and they've just done an outstanding job. And when you hear them, you'll see just how much hard work they put into this. Last week, we were able to celebrate the Great Kindness Challenge, and they have a song they're going to do for you tonight that is representative and kind of culminates that week, and then a song that they'll be performing at the Forum Festival this year. So with that, I turn it over to these talented individuals.
starting with Kind-Hearted Hand.
Help me make a stand, every girl, boy, woman, and man. Let your voices rise, you'll be satisfied when you reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out with your kind-hearted hand. It's easier than you think. Just be kind to those who you meet. There's a friend out there who needs your care, so reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Calling out across the oceans, calling out across the lands. Show the world that kindness matters when you reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out with your kind-hearted hand. When sunny skies turn gray, follow me, I'll lead the way. Here's where we begin, let some love come in. When you reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out with your kind-hearted hand. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out with your kind-hearted hand.
The second song we have for you, and our final song, is a folk song. Many of you probably have heard it before. Our song is called Homeward Bound, and it is in two-part as well. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red,
When the summer ceases gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time.
And that is our amazing, amazing choir. Nice job, guys. Very nice job. Lord, any questions?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say I was at the festival last year when they earned their gold, and they were amazing then. And I can tell that you have worked hard to make amazing improvement. And it's so impressive because I thought you were so great already. And I look forward to hearing about your successes at the festival. And this was a real joy to hear you sing tonight. Thank you so much.
I agree. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It truly was an honor. I had to hold back tears because I was so impressed with the performance, and really the rest of the meeting is going to go downhill from here. So thank you so much.
I'm with all my board members too. I mean, all of you sounded so beautiful. What I really liked was when the solo singers came, all the others were encouraging, giving thumbs up and, patting on them. Great job. And it really shows the kindness week that you incorporated. Guys, great job, great job. Thank you. And I love the harmonies. Wow, that just sounded so good. Great job, dear teacher. Thank you so much. Thanks for the street.
Beautiful performance. Thank you very much. We really enjoyed it.
Nice job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you again. Roll call, please.
Lisa Boulay,
Here.
Colin Clements,
Absent.
Vanitha Daniel,
Here.
Stephanie Olson,
Here.
David Pombo,
Here.
Satya Salam.
Here.
Item 3, approval and/or corrections to the agenda.
There are none.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Olson and seconded by trustee Boulay. Student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with one absent. Item 4, committee reports. Student trustee Selam.
Good evening. On January 23rd, the MHHS leadership class took a trip to Doherty Valley High School in San Ramon for the Tri-Valley Leadership Conference, and it was lots of fun with 15 different schools there. We participated in rally games, networked with so many leadership students from different schools, and each of our students brought back something new that they learned to implement at MHHS. And on January 28th, we had our annual winter formal. The night under the Moon Celestial Ball was loads of fun. Our sophomore class officers did an amazing job planning the event. Our girls soccer team had their senior night on Monday, and congratulations to our senior girls. They ended with a big win against Ceres. Today morning, we had our very first lip dub. It's essentially a video with a few students who make their way through campus lip singing to different songs while we showcase our awesome school and student body. We showed moments from the very first day of school as freshmen, and you go through homecoming, prom, and at the end you see seniors in their graduation cap and gowns. And all the different classes, pathways, teams, and clubs showcase their awards, spirit, and all their work. And of course, our amazing media arts team recorded the entire video in only one shot. And this was the start of a great tradition, and it's all about bringing the staff, school, and students together. So we look forward to sharing the video with the rest of the community when it's ready. And tonight is actually the boys' basketball senior night, and our Mustangs had an incredible season. They're currently fighting for first in league with a record of 21-2. It'll be a great night for our 11 seniors as they advance to playoffs later this month. And this Friday from 2 to 4 p.m., HOSA is hosting its annual Health Expo in the Learning Commons, and they'll feature speeches, presentations, a career panel with professionals, and capstone projects. And I want to conclude my report by congratulating Mr. Faubert on his new position. You'll be greatly missed, but thank you for all that you do for our school, and best of luck with your new position. Thank you.
Thank you. And I realized I skipped over committee reports, so we're going to roll with it, and Trustee Daniels can give her board report, and then we will come back to committee reports when board reports have concluded.
On Jan 20th, I attended the Mountain House High School drama, Into the Woods, and as always, it was just great. And congratulations to all the students, all the participants, the volunteers, and to our teacher, Ms. Hornbecker. I'm looking forward to the April spring musical. So that's it's become like my Friday night routine now when the musicals are up. On Jan 27th, I attended the Student of Month assemblies at Bethany. Congratulations to all the Bobcats who were awarded, and to the ASB for conducting a fantastic, energy-filled, well-organized assembly. The theme was collaboration, and Principal Ritchie actually filled me up on the kindness rally that took place that week, and she was very happy and shared with me how the kids actively participated in being kind with each other during the rally. On February 2nd, okay, that's tomorrow, I'm looking forward to attending the Student of Month assemblies at Cuesta. And there ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Boulay.
Thank you. On January 19th, I went to the opening night of the high school production of Into the Woods. Congratulations, as always, to the cast and the crew. It was another fabulous production. It was very fun. There was lots of humor, lots of talent, and lots of creativity, and it was just really a great evening. Last Thursday, I attended the DLAC committee meeting, which I will report on when we get to committee reports. And then this past Monday, I did go to the high school girls varsity soccer game. And again, yes, it was senior night, and I really enjoyed being there as the team recognized their seniors. But I think I was really impressed, too, that not only did they recognize our Mountain House High School seniors, but they recognized the seniors from the opposing team. And I've never been to a senior night for soccer or for too many sports, so I'm not sure if that's a tradition. But I really was impressed with the kindness that they shared the other team, and even though they were opponents, they announced the names of the seniors and they gave them goodie bags, and I was truly impressed. And it was very, very cold out, and I have to admit I'm a wimp when it comes to cold weather, so I did not stay for the whole game, but congratulations to our varsity girls for their win on Monday. And I am looking forward to seeing that LibDub video, so as soon as it's out, I'll be watching it. So thank you. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Trustee Olson.
On January 19th, I also attended the Into the Woods production at Mountain House High School, and I concur with my fellow trustees. It was an excellent production, and the thing that impressed me the most is that it was part of the Pathway program for drama. So all of the parts of the performance were student-led, and it was just, like, wow, these are students. It was amazing. And on January 20th, I attended the Cuesta, I can't remember if it's called I Don't Want to Glow Up dance. It was a glow dance for TK through 5th grade, which I hadn't seen a school dance like that before, and it was wonderful. I actually think that the TK through 5th graders dance more and are more like relaxed with who they are on the dance floor than our middle schoolers and high schoolers. And so I challenged the middle schoolers and high schools to dance like a TK through 5th grader, because they were having a lot of fun. It was a great success and a wonderful turnout. And I just wanted to conclude my report by thanking the Mountain House High School administration for their appreciation for School Board's Appreciation Month. I have to say, as a trustee, I don't expect any appreciation at all. I do this because I love the community, and I'm grateful for the fact that people entrust me with decisions regarding this community. But thank you very much for thinking of us.
Thank you. And my report is on January 19th. I, along with several other board members, attended the MHHS play Into the Woods. And as my fellow board members have already stated, it was a wonderful play. I very much enjoyed it. And that concludes my report. And now we will revert to committee reports. And as soon as my computer catches up, I will call on Trustee Boulay for the District Advisory Committee.
Nothing to report for the DAC.
Thank you. District English Language Committee, and I will also call on Trustee Boulay since Trustee Clements is not here.
Thank you. So we did meet last Thursday, and at that meeting, Director Busatil reviewed information about the summative LPAC assessment. The assessment period opened today and runs through the end of the year for our English learner students. Director Busatil also reviewed the LCAP goals and information on the data dashboard, particularly as it relates to our English learners. Our next meeting will be a combined meeting with the Education Committee, and that will be on April 20th. And that's all I have for DLAC.
Thank you. Education Committee is mine, and the next Education Committee meeting is February 16th at 6:30 in the Professional Development Center. Facilities Committee, Trustee Olson.
The next Facilities Committee meeting is tomorrow, February 2nd at 6:30 p.m. here in the district boardroom.
Thank you. Policy Committee, Trustee Daniels.
So we are in the process of reviewing the board policy and administrative regulation updates for December 2021, March 2022, and June 2022. The review will be completed by Feb 20th, and the first read will be available to the board on March 15th.
Thank you, and I apologize for adding an S on the end of your name where it doesn't belong. Safety Committee is mine, and the next Safety Committee meeting is March 22nd at 3:45 here in the district office. Wellness Committee, Trustee Olson.
The next Wellness Committee meeting will be February 15th at 3:30 p.m. in the Professional Development Center.
Thank you. Moving on to item 6, receiving of public comments. The entire board appreciates hearing from members of the community and the public at large. The board shall give members of the public an opportunity to address the board either before or during the board's consideration of each agenda item. At a time so designated on the agenda, members of the public may also bring before the board matters that are not listed on the agenda of a regular meeting. The board may refer such a matter to the superintendent or designee or take it under advisement, but shall not take action at that time. The board may place the matter on the agenda of a subsequent meeting for discussion or action. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. I have no blue cards, but if anyone would like to address the board during public comment, now would be the time. Seeing no one, moving on to item 7, consent items for consideration. Governing board meeting minutes, contracts under $50,000, ratification of 2022-2023 new hires, ratification of resignations, ratification of retirement, ratification of placement on the 39-month rehire list, ratification of placement on the 39-month rehire list, updated 2022-2023 fundraisers, and ratification of school-sponsored overnight trips. Would any board member like to pull or comment on any of the items in consent?
Sorry. You want to go first, Trustee Daniel?
No, I just wanted to request our superintendent to just explain the placement of 39-month rehire list. I did read through it, but I just wanted to be also explained here so that there are a lot of teachers who are watching the meeting, so they'll understand what this 39-month rehire means.
Well, and I might need Director Barris's help on this a little bit, not my area of expertise. A 39-month rehire list is part of labor code, and there are certain circumstances that come along where it requires, based on a circumstance with an employee, that they be placed on this 39-month rehire list in lieu of, or by following a set of procedures that maintains their status as a potential bring back to a district when their services aren't able to be rendered in the present. However, I can't go into any greater detail. As you notice, those two items have a number to them, so those are individual private matters that if you have any more questions, we can do in closed session. But that's a rambling explanation of the 39-month rehire list. And if you want any more specifics, I'm going to throw the ball to the Director of HR.
No, I'm good. Actually, there is a good explanation there, but I just wanted everybody to hear about it because this is my first time I got to see this 39-month rehire code, and I personally really appreciate this code because we are giving an opportunity for those who are unable to, for an extended period, be there at the school, but they will be placed on the list when there is a rehire, and that basically shows that we really value, highly qualified teachers. So I just wanted it to be mentioned and you to explain so that the teachers who are hearing this will definitely have some knowledge on this, because this is my first time to know this. Thank you.
Further questions or comments by the board?
I just had one comment. I just wanted to give recognition to Mr. Ken for his years of service. I took a survey in the CSBA, or in my CSBA Masters in Governance courses, they talked about a survey they gave to parents across the nation about who you trusted most in a school, and the custodian was listed as the most trusted person in the school. And Mr. Ken was a great steward of the Cuesta School and cared about the students a lot, and I wish him well in his retirement.
Indeed. I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve consent items.
Second. Oh, Trustee Daniel.
On a motion by Trustee Boulay and seconded by Trustee Daniel, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries with one absent. Item 8. Yes, ma'am, I forgot already. Madam Clerk, would you read the names, please?
Yes, with pleasure. We'd like to welcome Harpreet Bal, Sasha Carrasco, Srilasya Kocher Lakota, Norma Pena, Maria Salcedo, and Jamani Woods. I forgot to read their positions. Harpreet Payroll, Sasha Payroll, Srilasya Noon Duty Supervisor, Norma Pena Administrative Assistant 1, Maria Salcedo Food Service Worker, and Jamani Woods Campus Supervisor. Welcome to the
Welcome.
Lammersville.
Now I will move on to item 8, District Administrative Reports. Superintendent Nicholas.
One of the things that we do here that we are very proud of was put into hiatus due to the pandemic. And we strongly believe, and the board has always supported, professional development. When you can come up with a professional development opportunity that helps calibrate high quality instruction across the district and promotes high quality conversations about instruction amongst administrators, site and district, and teachers, it helps build culture, but it also helps improve skills, and it identifies areas of weakness that we could go in and help with our team of coordinators or any other professional development. So you can't have a bunch of people in a room together during a pandemic, and this is the first time we've brought it back, and we will do another round in the spring, but I have just some pictures of the event. We had about 55 people participate. Thor wore a sweater vest, and that really was a very popular item amongst the people attending. again, you can see across the board, it starts with a calibration exercise where one of our coordinator teaches a 13-minute section of a lesson. She started in the middle because when you walk classrooms, you never know what part of the lesson you're going to walk into. So if you're going to do a practice, it shouldn't always be the same thing. It shouldn't be the predictable thing. Then using a rubric, which is everyone's gone through and Thor's facilitated a dialogue, everybody's aware of what it is. All of the teams of educators go through the rubric and discuss what they observed, and then they had a conversation about was that emerging or bridging, or there's 3 different measures. And then after practicing, we go out and do it live across, in this case, 2 school sites, Bethany and Altamont. And so then once that's been done, then we come back, everybody has lunch, and then we discuss what we learned. And this is something that we had been doing for years. We won a Golden Bell Award, this process. And so we're very proud of it. Have it interrupted was a bummer, but most importantly, because if everybody's on the same page about what we're trying to do, we can get better faster, and we can help kids more. So I want to thank everybody, because everybody out there in the audience was a participant in this, and all of the teachers. So we have another picture. This is a classroom. People just watching instruction, watching kids, following the rubric. Next slide. And then afterwards, they go outside and they discuss. And then at the end, everybody comes back. And again, we have this post walking and talking recalibration, for lack of a better term. And then everybody goes about their day. Where we were at before the pandemic was almost every teacher in the district who'd been around had gone through this process at least once. Since we've had like a 3-year pause, we have lots of teachers to do it for the first time, but we like a nice mix of veterans and people new to the process. And again, it's something that we look forward to, and it's something I think builds culture and it builds high quality instruction. And I think that's the last slide, correct? Yeah, that's my presentation.
Thank you. Item B, District Maintenance and Operations Report.
I'd just like to point out there's too much paper on that classroom picture wall that Dr. Nicholas showed. Good evening, thanks for having me. Yesterday we had a very cool demo piece of equipment yesterday at Wickland. It is a robot that actually paints and stripes the fields for us. It came out, it takes us 2-3 people, probably 3-4 hours to paint one field. It painted the Wickland soccer field in about 25 minutes. And quite frankly, did a much better job than we do, than my staff does. So they're sending me some pricing. It's a lease type deal. I'm gonna review it with Thor tomorrow one-on-one, but it'd be a tremendous labor savings for us. We don't do all the striping that we should do. We don't keep up on it as much as we need to, and this would be a tremendous help for us if it works out. I'll be having my bi-weekly meetings with the high school vice principal. Our next meeting is tomorrow. The EPIC interns have been working with us on Thursday and Friday. We're down to 2 students. One moved away. I don't think it had anything to do with us, but I think he moved on his own. But we're down to 2 students on Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow they'll be out at the baseball and softball fields at Cordis and the high school, and then Friday they'll be back in the warehouse helping organize some textbooks. The recent storms have eased up for us, so the roofers have been out trying to patch those roof leak problems I talked about at the last board meeting. Even though the rain has let up, it's been very cold. It's down in the 30s every night, so we're having some heater issues we're dealing with now. We're working through those. On Friday the 20th, Thor and I spent the afternoon doing site walks. We looked at potential locations for the bottle filling stations. We talked about the facilities committee. I know we're talking about tomorrow night at the committee meeting. And we also walked Lammersville to talk about fencing, about doing the fencing project there this summer. That's it for that one. Solar, those power shutdown that was supposed to happen at Quest this weekend got pushed out 2 weeks. It's going to be on the 18th. Then that'll be hopefully fall through, and that'll be done with the solar. I had to miss the last construction meeting at Casa. We had our Drive to 9000 training that day, so I had to miss the last construction meeting. Upcoming items. I have a demo tomorrow with my staff for a potential new use facility software. and slash work order system. Maybe looking to make a switch in the future. And I'll be at the facilities committee tomorrow night. Staffing update, we interviewed for the custodian slash warehouse position on the 24th. Still can't find anyone. Not sure what we're gonna do with that position, how to get it filled. Some have the warehouse experience, some have the custodial experience, hard to get a match of the right person. The lead custodian at Questa, we have about a half dozen candidates that have applied, so we're gonna set up interviews for that position next week. That gentleman retired. And then we still have the evening custodian position that we're working, a lady that's been subbing there, we're gonna probably process her for the job permanently. So that's all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
I just have a question about the robot.
Yeah.
Does it chalk baseball fields also?
It's everything.
Everything?
They have a whole, it comes with like an iPad looking thing, and they have a preset, fields, football, cricket, right? Everybody loves cricket. They have baseball, softball. They have different 9v9 soccer fields, 7v7 soccer fields, different 50-yard for football. It had a whole sports I never heard of, European stuff. They used to do it overseas. It had a whole caveat of things, and it's really, really cool. It's not very big. Looks like Wall-E from the movie Wall-E, has a little head on top, and so it's really cool. And the way, I don't know how much field striping anybody's done, but field striping is a pain. Cleaning out the tank is a pain, and employees don't do a very good job at it, so it gets gummed up, the head gets gummed up. This has a container with a lid. You screw it off, put it on, when you're done, you just run some clean water through it. It's cleaned out in 5 minutes, piece of cake. So anyways, it's a nifty piece of equipment.
The, that unit, I'm guessing it's GPS guided.
Yes, and
so
it
that
comes with a
it's
tripod antenna.
precise.
Yeah, it's all GPS, comes with a tripod antenna. You set that up next to the field. You get it laid out initially. The first run, they did a dry run before they painted it. It wasn't parallel to the fence, which was bugging me. So I told the guy, and he adjusted it and made it parallel to the fence. And before he actually put some paint down. And then the next time if they were to come out, he had saved in the program. Next time come out, you just do it and tell it to go paint the field. It'll start in the exact same spot. He said within a half inch, which is pretty good.
Does our robot have a name?
Why everybody else? So not yet.
I believe it's going to be JIM-E.
Oh, Jimmy, yeah. We're about the same height, so we're good. So yeah. Anything else?
Further questions by the board?
I'd like to see a picture after the naming ceremony.
I have videos I'd love to show you. Yeah, I got videos on my phone, so
Okay,
next time I run it, I'll show it to you.
sure. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 9, action items. Item A, consider approval of the 2021-2022 annual developer fee report. Staff report?
Yes, this is an education code requirement, and it essentially reports our expenses.
Move to approve the 2021-2022 annual developer fee report.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Olson and seconded by trustee Boulay. Student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with one absent. Item B, consider approval of course outlines at Mountain House High School. Staff report?
Yes, every year there are requests that come from the high school for a class or course of expansion. There's a process that we go through, a vetting through all the way up to the associate superintendent. Assistant Superintendent Sharp participates, Mr. Faubert and team. Ultimately, we bring forward stuff that pass the mustard of the vetting process, and then over time they get applied. We recommend approval.
I would just like to say I am excited to see these new courses in action at the high school. It looks like some very good courses that will be helpful to our students. Any other comments?
Yeah, I do want to congratulate all the high school staff for working so hard on these courses. I was excited reading the outlines and, wished that I was back in high school, but only for the courses. And also, I did notice that they did make the course list for student selection because the selection period for next year has opened up, and I think it's closing within a day or two. But I did notice these were on the course list, so that was great timing. So thank you.
I also want to say that I looked at the syllabus and the course list. The selection is just amazing. So great job to all the coordinators and everyone who worked towards selecting the courses. I did have a question with regards to one particular course, which is the game design one. It was mentioned that this course is being proposed as an alternative to taking an AP computer science course. So my question is, if this is an alternative to AP computer science course, then is it going to be considered as an AP? Or
I'm going to answer that generally. If we have to get more specific, Mr. Harrison or Mr. Faubert can help out. But if you don't take an AP designation, you don't take a test. If they don't have a test, it's not an AP class.
got it. But that's a really cool course. I really love it. And I second what Lisa mentioned. While I was looking through the courses, I was like, oh, why did I miss, studying these courses? So great job. Great thinking. Thank you.
I concur with my fellow board members, and I'm really excited about the jazz band. I have to say that's going to be exciting to listen to. And with that, I'll move to approve the course outlines at Mountain House High School.
I second.
On a motion by trustee Olson and seconded by trustee Boulay, student preferential vote?
Aye.
Oh, excuse me, that was seconded by trustee Daniel. And the student preferential vote is aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with one absent. Item C, consider approval of 2022 educational science camp agreements for LUSD K-8 sites. Staff report?
Yes, so this is a process we go through every year. Science camp is almost a rite of passage in some ways. Mr. Pombo and I, President Pombo and I had a discussion about our experiences back in when you could kiss a banana slug era. And so these are the ones that are coming forward. We know that Cordis is on a wait list, but we recommend approval for those so that we can have our kids continue this great experience.
I would just like to piggyback on the superintendent's comments. My mom, who's almost 80, attended Camp Jones Gulch, so I'm a little disappointed that that is no longer part of our county, but time moves on. Further comments or questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the 2022 outdoor education science camp agreements for LUSD K-8 school sites.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Boulay and seconded by trustee Daniel, student preferential vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with one absent. Item D, consider approval of second reading and adoption of updated board policy and administrative regulation 6158 independent study effective July 1st, 2023. Staff report.
Yes, it is my pleasure to introduce Executive Director of Student Services, Irene Bustatil, who is going to kind of give a final overview of this recommendation from staff.
And I would just like to say congratulations.
Thank you. Good evening, President Pombo, trustees, Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having me here again this evening. So based off of the presentation from our last board meeting, we went ahead and made some potential updates to our board policy and administrative regulation. So in the first red box, you'll see that the short-term independent study contract would be up to 14 days. And then down below are those additional items that we would like to include in our board policy and administrative regulation about what happens if a student or family does not meet the outlined contract. And so again, the loss of eligibility for future independent study contracts, SAR or SARB referral for unexcused absences prior to or following independent study, not the actual independent study dates themselves, activity restriction or loss of privileges, mandatory Saturday school, loss of school and or class placement on day 18 without verification, and a potential citation from the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Department. So with that, I wanted to provide a couple of different scenarios about how this could potentially be applied. And again, these are based off of real scenarios that we've experienced. So while they present as hypothetical, they are rooted in what families are experiencing currently. So scenario 1, a parent or guardian submits an independent study request in September for anticipated travel in November. The independent study contract request is approved. On day 12, the parent or guardian sends an email that the airline has canceled their return flight home. The earliest return flight is on day 17. The parent provides verification from the airline of the canceled flight as well as the return flight. So the outcome of this scenario would be additional absences will be unexcused. The student would be ineligible for future independent study, and then students in grades 7 through 12 would be assigned Saturday school. With that, I want to point out a couple of important factors. We do have the appeal process for independent study. So this is something that is beyond the family's control. So something like that, the family would follow up through the appeals process, and then I would bring it to our board in closed session, and then the board can make the final determination if we would approve that appeal for future independent studies. Also, any of the ADA makeup days that happen through Saturday school, once we regain the positive attendance, then that would reinstate the students' eligibility for future independent study contracts. So for scenario 2, very similar request made in September for travel in November. Request is approved. On day 15, the parent or guardian sends an email that the family is unable to return due to illness. No doctor's note is provided. The school site follows up on day 18, and the parent or guardian indicates the student is still ill. The doctor's note is provided. However, the recommended treatment is for the student to rest. So this outcome would be additional absences would be unexcused. The student would be ineligible for future independent study, loss of class placement, loss of school placement. Once again, the family would be eligible to appeal at a future date. And I would say since the last board meeting, so last Monday, we came in and by 9 o'clock in the morning, we had received 5 phone calls with this scenario. And the days of additional time needed were anywhere from 5 days to an additional 4 weeks of independent study. For a doctor's note, they simply said that the student needed to rest. And so it's similar to what I shared previously, where we see some of the patterns emerging. And I just thought it was so interesting because we had just talked about it. And here was another example of like the exact same verbiage used by different families across different school sites. Anyone have any questions for me?
Thank you.
We do expect that we're going to put these into play. There'll probably be some complaints because it's new. We're going to hold firm. The appeal process is the fairness possibility. But we've also, and Irene is being very polite, there does seems to be sharing of information amongst some who find a way around whatever we're trying to do to follow the rules we have to. And we may have to come back and adjust this one, but we think this is a good starting point.
So when are we going to start implementing these rules as soon as we approve?
It would be for the 23-24 school year, so effective July 1st.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve the second reading and adoption of updated board policy and administrative regulation 6158, independent study.
Second.
On a motion by trustee Olson and seconded by trustee Boulay, student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries with 1 absent. Item 10, information and discussion items, student internship program, staff report.
Yes, I'm going to turn the mic over to Executive Director of Student Services, Irene Busatil.
So at this time, I have the pleasure of introducing Karen Perez. So she is our Vice Principal of Alternative Education and Student Services. So when Karen first joined our team in the 16-17 school year, she was coming on as a coordinator of alt ed at our high school. Since that time, Karen is very modest, but she has continued to be an integral part of the development of what is now the EPIC Academy to provide alternate education experiences for students that don't necessarily fit a traditional high school structure or setting. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Karen Perez.
Thank you. Good evening, President Pombo, trustees, and Dr. Nicholas. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm really excited to share with you about our student internship program. So the Alternative Education team began the creation of EPIC Academy in the 2018-2019 school year. EPIC Academy launched in the fall of 2019. Prior to that fall, we worked with local industry professionals to set up work-based learning opportunities in a community classroom of sorts for students as interns or paid employees. As a way to reinvigorate internships coming into the 2022-2023 school year, the EPIC staff worked with our Human Resources Department here in Lammersville to get an agreement with CSEA going so that we could provide internships right here within our district. One of the goals with doing that was in part what EPIC Academy's overall program goal is, to prepare students for careers and life after high school. And another goal with the student internship program within our district is to identify and train future potential employees. The first 6 weeks of EPIC Academy are really designed to provide opportunities for students to re-engage in learning. We firmly believe that despite any prior hiccups students have had with their education, all of our students have skills and strengths that we can highlight to empower them to be successful. In these first 6 weeks, we focus on using assessment tools to identify what those skills and strengths are, as well as building student resumes, preparing them for interviews, and providing lessons on professional dress, attitudes, and workplace collaboration. One of my favorite days of the year is when we get to take our students out to the Venture On Challenge course out at the San Joaquin County Office of Ed. The purpose of this day is really, again, to work on confidence, to work on team building. The students do, like, as you see in these pictures, like a variety of crazy climbing activities and things like that. And it gets them out of their comfort zone and teaches them that they can do really hard things. They've gotten me up on one of those before too, and it was one of the most terrifying days of my life. Okay. I was excited this year. We had our internship fair on September 12th. Site and department leaders interviewed potential interns for positions at their school and within their departments. All of our school sites were represented. So all of our K-8 sites, our high school, as well as our district office, our IT department, and our maintenance and operations department. Following the internship fair, site administrators and department leads identified the interns they'd like to see at their site, and we worked together to coordinate placement and the Lammersville Unified employee that would serve as a mentor for the intern. September 29th and 30th was orientation day for our interns. So they went to their sites, they met their mentor, and their mentor gave them tours of the sites. They talked about the workplace values, the organizational structure of our district, dress codes, schedules, and other information that was pertinent to the site that they were working at. And then just after fall break, the week of October 10th, our internships began. We currently have 20 interns being mentored and trained within our department, or within our district, excuse me. We have interns in our IT department. As Jimmy mentioned, we have interns working with maintenance and operations, classroom assistants, in our special education classrooms as assistants, throughout the Cates and Learning Commons, and as office assistants. In addition to those internships, we're also really excited about a partnership we have with California Emergency Vehicles. We have 4 students that are interning over there right now, and they're learning to repair, replace, and install the lights and sirens and any other electrical components on first responder vehicles. Through working with our industry partners, back in 2019, we developed an evaluation tool to ensure all EPIC Academy students were working toward mastering key workplace skills. So some of those skills that we identified while working with our industry partners, and what they identified as being really important, was attendance, timeliness, taking initiative, trustworthiness and integrity, critical thinking, problem solving, and teamwork. We asked some of our EPIC students to share what they've been learning, and one of the quotes here that I wanted to point out, it just really makes me feel good about the work we're doing here in our district and the intention behind, in some ways, the program that we're running, is the quote that the student said here: "I now know I want to work with kids and be a kindergarten teacher in the future." I thought that was like just really sweet, considering a lot of these students really have like struggled with education through the years, and now that the student wants to go back and serve as a teacher. We also asked our students for feedback on what they liked about working in our district, and a couple of quotes here that I really appreciate: I learn something new every day that I can apply to my life. And also, this is actually from a student that works with Jimmy. "Each time I go to my internship, I'm learning something different. There's never a dull moment, always something to do." Thank you, Jimmy, for having our interns. So as we look toward the future of the student internship program, we'd like to continue to provide training and support within the district for our interns and for our mentors. We'd also like to go back and re-engage some of our industry partners we had prior to COVID. So some of those I put up on the screen here: Les Schwab, Flower Pavilion, the Patriot Jet Team out at the Byron Airport, Tracy Honda, and Starbucks. And I really wanted to share a story too about Starbucks. So back in 2019, we had a senior. He was just really having a difficult time. We had a relationship with the regional manager at the time of Starbucks, and she took a chance and placed him at a Starbucks over in Livermore. And it turns out just a couple weeks ago, I was there in Livermore, I went into that Starbucks, he was still there. And he's now in a supervisor position there at Starbucks, and he's going to Arizona State University. Starbucks is paying for that to happen, and he's getting his bachelor's degree in business. And so that was for me, the whole intention behind starting this program was for situations like that to occur. So also, additionally, just as Mountain House continues to develop, we are really excited about pursuing new partnerships. So having Safeway now in town, we're excited about that. That wasn't there in 2019. So I want to take the time and go over there and develop that partnership, as well as other businesses that are starting to open up in town. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I want to congratulate you on the success of this program. It looks like not only was it a lot of hard work, but I can see your passion and your dedication to this program and the students, and so thank you. And truly, your story with the Starbucks supervisor, truly, a success story. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd like to echo that. And I remember last spring, we were invited to attend, I don't remember, was it called Epically Epic? Or
Epically Epic,
and the students gave presentations about their experience. And I was just really impressed with how confident they leave Mountain House High School from that program. And I think I even commented at the time that, they are getting some things that I wish all the students could get, because they really you could see the growth, and they had a direction in their lives, and that's just amazing. And so thank you so much. I love this program, and I think it's great that the sites are working with our students to give them these opportunities. And I do have one question, which is, you were talking about graduation and that they would be able to have something that recognizes their completion of the. Mm-hmm. Has that happened? Are they going to get some recognition?
Yeah, so we're still working on that. And additionally, on top of that, what I really want to see too in the future is there's a national workforce readiness certification they could get. So it's a test that they take through the ACT, and it's all 3 different areas of workplace skills. And so I really in the future, that's another thing I want to do with our interns, is have them take that exam so that they have that certificate to present. But yeah, I am working with our staff at the high school to make sure they have some sort of quarter recognition as well.
I just want to say thank you for all the effort. I can see the passion in the EPIC program. And I remember, as Trustee Olson mentioned, that I was there. That was my first time. And I got to talk to a few students. I also saw their presentation where they shared about their experience with the EPIC program. And those presentations just spoke volumes about how great the program was and how much you are so involved in the program along with your team. So thank you so much for all the effort. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would just like to say that I think this program is fantastic. I think every student could benefit from this. I know we can't have all 2,000 students at the high school involved in an intern program, but kids getting out, having responsibilities, having something to do, and the benefits of accomplishing things, and that is just great for kids, and appreciate all you guys do.
Thank you. And also to add to that too, like I would like to see in the future this program be a program of choice for everyone and not just for the small pocket of alternative education students. I do see opportunity to have more students participate in it in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 11, calendar. Thursday, February 2nd, the Facilities Committee meeting at 6:30 here in the boardroom. Item B, Monday, February 13th is a district holiday, Lincoln's birthday. C, Wednesday, February 15th is the Wellness Committee meeting at 3:45 in the Professional Development Center. Item D, Wednesday, February 15th is the next regular board meeting at 7 o'clock here in the district boardroom. Item E, Thursday, February 16th is the next Education Committee meeting at 6:30 in the Professional Development Center. Item F, Monday, February 20th is another district holiday, President's Day. In a moment, we will be adjourning to closed session where we will discuss Public Employee Discipline Dismissal Release Complaint, Government Code 54957, Student Discipline and Other Confidential Matters, Government Code Sections 48900, 49060, and others, and 20 U.S.C. Section 1232G. Item C, consider approval of paid, unpaid leave of absence for a classified employee. Item D, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8. And item E, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, Government Code 54956.9. I will entertain a motion.
Move to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
A motion by Trustee Boulay and seconded by Trustee Olson. Student preferential vote.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are now adjourned to closed session. Thank you all for coming, and
Thank you.
have a good night.